conservatives hate the Barbie movie. And it's actually hilarious. Of course, one of my favorite, and when I say favorite, I mean like my favorite person to like watch their stuff and just like laugh at some of the stuff that they say because it's so funny, is Ben Shapiro, right? This is basically the general conservative view on the Barbie movie on the internet right now.
My producers dragged me to go see Barbie movie. This movie is not just a piece of shit. This movie is a flaming piece of dog shit piled atop an entire dumpster on fire, piled atop a landfill filled with dog shit.
Here's the thing. Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, all of these conservative online commentators who are very popular, they were never going to like the Barbie movie. Like the idea that there was a world in which Ben Shapiro went to the Barbie movie, came out and was like, you know what? I'm actually pleasantly surprised by that and I enjoyed it. That world doesn't exist. Like there was no way, like from the moment the Barbie movie was announced, I could have told you exactly what Ben Shapiro was going to say. I genuinely think any social issue, anything that happens, like people like this, like, and whether it's right wing or left wing, people like this, I could already tell you exactly what their opinion is going to be before they even make the video. And I could have told you like a year ago when the Barbie movie comes out, Ben Shapiro is going to do a video talking about how shit he thought it was. I actually said I was going to do my own kind of thoughts video on the Barbie movie. I might have run out of time, so I'm going to do a little bit of it here. But I'm going to focus on like the kind of the conservative backlash to it. Because the main thing is, first of all, I loved the Barbie movie. I thought it was really funny, like laugh out loud funny at a lot of points. And I thought the satire was strong. I thought it was a really good feminist critique. I thought it was fun. I just think like when you go to see the Barbie movie, whoever you are, I'm a straight white guy, I'm 28 years old. You can't go to the Barbie movie as a straight white man or any kind of man. Like, well, whatever. You can't go to the Barbie movie and not expect it to be exactly what it was. If you went to the Barbie movie as a straight white man and you think that movie was supposed to be for you or about you, then you're just an idiot. The whole point of that film was to be like a feminist critique, a look at gender stereotypes, and that's what like Barbie, the toy, has always been. Like that's what that toy is almost known for. So the idea that the movie wouldn't be that is ridiculous. And I just don't know what Ben Shapiro thought the movie was going to be. Like, did he actually think they were just going to make a Barbie movie where Barbie is in her like pink house and her pink car and just goes and does girl stuff all day and that's the movie? Like, of course it was going to be this, and it's done so well. Visually, it's fantastic. The soundtrack is fantastic. Some of the songs are so good. Again, Lizzo has a great song. Billie Eilish has an original song for this film called What Was I Made For, which just works on so many levels. Such a beautiful song. The way they incorporate, spoilers by the way, but the way they incorporate, I think Ruth Handler, who was the creator of Barbie, fantastic. Margot Robbie's amazing. Ryan Gosling's amazing. Everything about this film hits exactly what it needed to hit. And I actually think, as a straight white man, like, first of all, nothing about the film was remotely offensive. There was absolutely nothing about the Barbie movie as a straight white guy that I was like, oh, that's so woke, that's so offensive. Nothing. It was very well written satire. It was very interesting. It was very funny. Like the reversal of gender norms was very funny, very well handled. Everything about it, right? I think there's like this arrogance to think that the Barbie movie is supposed to be for you if you're a straight white man, because it's not. And I think there are so many women of my age, you know, women that I grew up with, women that I know, women of like my mum's age, you know, older women and younger women. Although I do think the movie is, it's not a kid's movie. I think the only downfall of the film is that I don't think you could, I don't think, one, it's marketed as though it's a kid's movie, but I don't think that kids like, I don't know, young girls who are probably being brought by their parents, and when I say young girls, I mean like, 5 to 12-year-old girls. I don't think they will yet grasp a lot of the concepts being explored in this film, right? So I think the marketing was a bit off in a way. I don't think it's a kid's movie, but there are so many women who will get so much out of this movie. And I got a lot out of it as a man, but I think it's not for us. And the reason for that is you look at most movies in the world and they are generally male main characters. Most of the main characters will be male, and generally a lot of the women will be there as love interests or as sexual triumphs or sexual objects of the men in the movie. And I actually, one of my old housemates, I remember saying to me, like, oh, have you ever thought about how, and this is like from a woman's perspective, she's like, have you ever thought about how, like, pretty much every movie, like most movies are just about guys. Like there actually aren't that many, there's more now, but there aren't that many movies historically that were made for women and with women writers and directors and everything like that. And I think that's why movies like this are so important. That's why. And that's what I think Ben Shapiro and his like ultra conservative perspective on gender norms and gender roles just doesn't understand about it, right? Like, look at something like Star Wars. It's like I would argue Star Wars actually does it all right with Princess Leia. It's got Luke, Han, and Leia. They're the main three. And like, I think they actually gave Leia like some really, like, she's a very strong female character, very well written, but she's also the love interest of both Luke and Han. And if you watch those movies now, like Han Solo to Leia is like, you wouldn't write it like that now. He's very like aggressive and arrogant and kind of sexist towards her and grabs her and kisses her, like all this stuff. And a lot of movies pre the Me Too movement, I'm sorry, but like most comedy movies in particular use women as like the punchline, like women, sex with women and women's bodies and everything are like the punchline, like, oh, this woman has boobs, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's what it is. And like, you think about that as a man and you're like, there is so much about the past in terms of like, particularly with cinema, about how women have been treated historically, both in the movies and outside of the industry, in the actual real life industry, as we know from the Me Too movement. And I think the Barbie movie is just trying to sort of showcase what it's like to be a woman. And I'm not even like a woke person, but I'm not thick enough to not understand what this is doing, right? Like, and I think it's okay to acknowledge all of these things. I think there are issues with being a man as well. I think there's, I'm not trying, like, it seems like you have to be one side or the other. Like, I think this is such a poignant movie. I think it's important. And I think it was really great. I loved it. I thought it was handled so well. And Ben Shapiro was never going to love it. None of these people were ever going to like this movie. But for someone like me, you can at least sort of see this film. Well, I loved it, but at least you could see this film and understand where this is coming from, what this movie means to so many women and to so many people in general. I thought it was fantastic. But it is no surprise to me that conservatives hate it.